the guy with the general store in his town sold them. And so
Hmm.
he always wanted one. He was always like me. He was like a crazy for dogs, you know. And the guy that lived across the street, he told me he had a turkey ranch.
Hmm.
And I remember he'd tell me the guy's name was Brock. And he had a big white bulldog called Brock. And he said when he was a little kid, he didn't know any better, but he grabbed Brock and brought him to his house and, you know, petted him. And he was being friendly. And his dad came up and said, no, no, you got to take that dog back. That's Mr. Brock's dog. And so anyway, his father died when he was like, I think 8 or 9. So his mom and the family had to move back to where his mom was from, which was Pennsylvania. And so he grew up in the city in Pennsylvania, but he always was crazy about bulldogs. And he used to send money back, he said, and to the family and tried to get dogs, but nobody ever found any or did anything. And then he discovered Dave Levitt when Dave Levitt just started his project for the Old English Bulldog. And he owned some of those dogs. Like Dave Levitt had placed dogs with him. And then they had a falling out over some female that died, something about when she was giving birth. And it was a
Hmm.
bull mastiff English bulldog pit bull cross that he started with. But meanwhile, he went to Dave Levitt's house and he saw a white bulldog from his youth that he'd been looking for all those years. And he goes, "Oh my God, you got one of them. Where'd you get it?" And he goes, "Oh, I leased it from a guy in Georgia, John D. Johnson. She's a dog that some people had up here from him that grew allergic to her. So I'm going to breed her. Her name was Georgia Gal, and she turned out to be the first sugar doll. She was a daughter of the Dick the Bruiser, which was another foundation dog. So after he fell out with Dave Levitt, he called John D. Johnson and started buying dogs from him. And he got some pretty noteworthy dogs. He had this gigantic monster dog called King's Bruiser Bow the Sixth. And anyway, so he was into the American Bulldogs, and he had talked. Him and Johnson really loved each other. They respected each other a lot. And you know, Johnson was a nice guy, real personable guy, and James Ellerby was just a sweet, nice person, very kind, well-spoken guy. And so they got along great. And I don't know what came first, but he said, "I'd like to breed a black bulldog." Because Johnson even said, "Yeah, I had black. I had a real nice black female. I hadn't had one for a while, and she died." And so uh, Ellerby somehow, in the course of action, had found somebody that had a black dog that was part. He said he was told it was half pit bull, half Labrador. Now people that mess with that blood think it was probably a Neo because it was being fought in the city in I guess Pittsburgh, and it had lost, and it was going to get put down. And Ellerby said, "No, no, no, I'll take it, I'll take it." So he took it, and Johnson helped him get it registered. That dog's name was Champagne.